back. This is Boomer Life on CIL 650.
Welcome back to Boomer Life here on this Saturday morning on CIL 650. You recognize that? That's the theme from Route 66, snapping you back to 60s TV. It's Sterling Fox along with Jillian Fullerton from ShannonOaks in Vancouver and Victoria in studio. And the reason we're playing the Route 66 theme, aside from the fact that it's a terrific piece of music, is because you've selected Route 66, Jillian, as the theme for Camp Week this year at ShannonOaks.
Camp Week is a whole week devoted to lots of fun. Sharon Ginter, our activity manager, is the one that came up with this idea. She is fantastic, and she said we're going to have a Route 66 theme for the 4 days of Camp Week.
Okay.
So it's Tuesday through Friday, and I don't know what she's got arranged, but I know it's going to be fun. If Sharon does it, it's fun.
And this happens every year in July.
Every year in July, first week of July.
All right.
We just let all the stops out and all the residents participate. Everything, the whole day is filled with it.
Interesting.
I mean, it's just fantastic. So I'm sure there's going to be a Chevrolet convertible somewhere in there.
Well, okay. Well,
maybe not 1960s one, though.
Well, they're kind of expensive now, you know.
Yes, yeah.
We have a couple of guests in studio that Jillian has brought along from ShannonOaks in Vancouver. It's a pleasure to welcome Jack Purdy back to Boomer Life. Jack, haven't seen you for over a year. Nice to see you again, sir.
I just keep my head down.
Well, you're looking pretty good, if you don't mind my saying so, Jack. It's nice to see you again.
Thank you.
And Bill Jackson is with us. Mr. Jackson has just joined ShannonOaks in the last few months. Bill, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, and it's a pleasure to be here and a pleasure to be asked to come here.
Well, it's great to have you along. Why did you pick ShannonOaks, Bill? You've only been there for a few months, and how's life settling in for you in the new place?
First class.
First class.
First class. Couldn't be better.
Okay.
And you asked me what made up my mind. I first started as a kid, about 8 or 10 years old, at the Baptist Church at First Avenue and
Gore?
No, First and oh gosh, just a block west of or east of Commercial.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's where I first started. That's where I first saw my first baptism.
Oh, okay.
And it was quite an experience. My mother was a Catholic, and she would like me to go that way, but I wasn't too parsy to do that, so this is why I asked her permission to go to this church, and I did that. And I saw my, as I say, the first baptism in the big little lake, really. But I had previous coming here spent about 9 months with the Royal Arch Home and a rental apartment. But here, the food is supplied, all the work's done, and you've got to learn to participate and get nosy.
Right. Now, was that tough for you? Or are you kind of an outgoing guy, Bill?
No, I'm an outgoing guy.
So it wasn't too difficult to get you mixing it up with the folks once you moved in? No.
And I think it's important that we, as residents of the place, get mixed up with new people.
Mm-hmm.
And it gets them more interested in it right off the bat, too.
And did you find the gang pretty welcoming? Did you find it easy to get to know people?
Very, very good. Nobody has errors.
Okay.
And that's what I found, in my opinion, anyway. And they're all very compatible.
How long, because you've only been there since September, so it's basically 6 months or just a little more.
Yeah.
So how long did it take, Bill, before you stopped being the new outsider and started feeling like a person who belonged and this was your home?
Oh, I would say within 6 months.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Jack, you and your wife live at ShannonOaks. How long have you been there?
Well, we're in our 7th year now.
Wonderful.
And you came to ShannonOaks from where?
Squamish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
I was in Squamish for 27 years. I was 10 years as a pastor there, and
Right.
then went all over the place doing other things, all involved in pastoring.
so when you retired from the ministry, it was time to find a retirement community to
Yeah.
live in?
Well, you don't retire from the ministry, but I'm as close to retiring as possible.
I suppose it's something you
Yes.
never completely
No,
walk
no,
away
no.
from. Either,
No.
is it? It's kind of a lifetime calling, isn't it?
It is really, yes.
So how's life at ShannonOaks 7 years into it,
Well,
Jack?
I've just, this morning, I was thinking about a comment that a guy made. He said, you know, if I'd known how much fun great-grandchildren were, I'd have had them first. And then I was just thinking, if I'd known how much fun could be had after home ownership, when you let somebody else look after the meals and the maintenance of the lawns and things like that, how much fun can be had? Shirley and I have had a great time together.
Right.
You know, for instance, this is a great community. We can go out and walk around and chat with our neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
It's so convenient. We're within a block of buses going in all 4 directions.
Sure.
If you didn't have a car.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a marvelous place to live, and a great bunch of people. You know, you meet smiles all the time as you're walking around.
Jillian, isn't that that observation that Jack just had about, you know, and it's a great line about if I knew how much fun grandkids were, I would have had them first. That's a great line. But the whole matter, and you've heard this is not the first time you've heard someone say to you, you know, if I had even a clue how much fun it was going to be living in a place like ShannonOaks, I would have moved here a whole
That's
lot
right.
earlier.
People say to us almost daily, I wish I had done it sooner.
Mm-hmm.
Because once they get there and they see all that is done for them so that they're free to have fun, free to enjoy friends, free to enjoy family without the obligations of work around it, to the exploring of new friendships, to the exercise programs, to the concerts, to whatever there is. And, well, both Bill and Jack belong to our choir. So they're singing away and they're rehearsing every week. I mean, there's all sorts of activities that you can do and free, because you're free now. You don't have to grocery shop. You don't have to cook.
That's
you
a
don't have to
big
clean
factor.
your
Well,
apartment.
and Bill was saying that was because you were living in a rental apartment
Yes.
before you moved to ShannonOaks.
Yes.
And you had a nice place,
Oh.
but you had to do all the work. You still had to
All
clean
the
the
work.
place. You had to do the cooking and the
That's
dishes
right.
and all of that stuff.
Yes.
And enough already,
That's right. Yes. And as each year you get older, you start rolling this around in your head too. How long are you going to keep this up?
Sure.
Yeah.
Now, you just turned in your car. You've been driving up until now. You just turned 92 a few days ago.
Yes.
How long ago did you surrender your automobile?
Oh, let's see. I moved in here on the 7th of September, and I gave it to my grandson to sell it. I had a Mercury Marquis, and he sold it, and I would say it was gone by, I would say at least the end of September.
So not bad. Turned it over in a fairly short period of time.
Yeah.
You got to pocket
Yeah.
the loot. And now that you don't have your car, are you feeling cut off at all, Bill? Or do you still have, with the bus and all of the other possibilities at ShannonOaks, do you still feel pretty darn connected?
At first, you feel lost.
Right.
Because I've always been used to going down to my car and going where I want.
Sure.
But all of a sudden I realized you can't do that. You got to make sure you're going to take the right bus and all this type of thing. And sometimes it's easier to find what's going on around in the ShannonOaks.
Mm-hmm.
And forget this going out bit to start with. And that's what I really have done. And I've gone into exercising and all that type of thing. And I figure, like somebody of my age, you can't stop exercising is very important.
Even more
Yeah.
important now than
Yeah.
it ever has been.
was.
That's
right.
Interesting stuff. And
Yeah.
Jack is nodding in agreement. The exercise, no matter, you don't have to put on your spikes and run a mile in under 3 minutes or anything like that. But it is good to get out and walk and just keep the blood flowing, right?
I can do a mile in about 35 minutes.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I could probably match you on that
If
one.
it's downhill.
Well, I might do that speed on the machine downstairs, but not out doing it myself.
But I suppose were you surprised by the options available to you, Bill? Because you're the most recent arrival there in this group. Have you tried everything even that's available to you yet, or are you still discovering new things to check out?
Oh, there's new things coming up all the time.
Okay.
But they have several pieces of equipment, but I have not tried them all. But you get on like one for pedaling and moving my arms back and forth because that's good for this and this.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's great, and I'll keep it up as long as I can.
Now, are these, Jillian, when people like Bill come to ShannonOaks and get involved, there's an assessment. Obviously, there's a lot of medical information gets exchanged. And then some people are like Bill, kind of anxious to get going on some of the new toys. Let's go play with this and find out about that. Who leads that parade? Is there an exercise or a physical person in charge of that whole area? Who leads the fitness regimes?
Well, Bill is an exception. First of all, he is so involved in everything. We'd love everybody to be. So he came in and he just dove into the deep end of the pool.
All right, good
which
stuff.
was wonderful. Says a lot about Bill, I think.
I started asking questions.
Yeah.
Because my mother taught me, you are what you eat, and you are what you are, and keep moving. Mm-hmm. She was always great, and she lived 107.
Oh my!
Oh my gosh! Oh dear! So we got good genes.
So
here.
I got a little ways to go.
I was just going to see you just turned 92. But goodness gracious!
Well, the person that does lead all of that is Sharon Ginter.
Okay.
She's our activity manager, and she has Nedra to help her, as well as Laura. So we have 3 people involved in that because there's so much activities going on, and they are absolutely wonderful. And sometimes even our chaplain Karen will participate.
Oh, she's great too.
Yeah. Oh, she's great. Yeah. We have a full-time chaplain, by the way, too, for anybody who wants to come and just talk about things even, but she leads the Bible study. She leads a chapel service. She's an amazing, absolutely full of joy person. And I'm sure Jack will agree with that.
I do indeed. And I just another couple of activities coming up. I'm getting ready to do a hymn sing.
Okay.
I love singing. Go to a hymn sing, and then also another night when we do singing the oldies.
Okay.
I love to hear people singing together. I think people who sing together cling together.
Okay, well, you're on the oldies station, so we can certainly relate to a gang who likes to get together and sing the oldies. No problem at all. And so how many people will gather when you say, well, let's get together and have some fun. We'll sing some of the oldies. So how many people would you organize for that?
Being as I'm leading it, maybe only my wife and myself.
I don't think so.
I'm finding it difficult to believe you there,
I'm
Jack.
hoping to be about 30 to 40 people.
Isn't that fun? Huh?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
We have a good time together.
And who provides the music? Is there somebody who plays piano, or do you have the
soundtrack?
soundtrack?
For the hymn sing, I've got a pianist.
Okay.
But for the singing the oldies, we're going to use just the human voices.
Wonderful.
I love to hear people sing. I've had campfires with Boy Scouts, as many as 600 people around a campfire, singing their hearts out and enjoying themselves immensely. So I'd like to sort of duplicate this a bit.
Interesting stuff.
Singing is a great exercise too.
It is.
I mean, if you sing, your whole body you're getting oxygen in there, and you're breathing well, and all of that. So it in itself is an excellent exercise.
And we have two members of the ShannonOaks Choir
We do.
to testify
Come
to
on,
that right
guys.
here.
Yeah,
Our guests in studio are Jack Purdy and Bill Jackson, along with Jillian Fullerton from the management team at ShannonOaks, Vancouver, and Victoria. And we're back with lots more here on Boomer Life on CIL 650.
Canada's only weekly radio show dedicated to the baby boomer lifestyle. This is Boomer Life on CIL 650.